Hi guys, this is Tracy with Inside Pool Magazine. I'm at it again. I found another kid, one out of Kentucky tonight. Boy, Kentucky's bursting at the seams with some kids. They're giving Missouri some competition. Well, tonight we have Mr. Johnny Hammontree. He is playing out of BJ's Billiards out of Glasgow, Kentucky. And I also have the pool room owner coming in tonight. So you guys get to know him as well as Johnny and his parents. So I'm going to run Johnny's promo video and let you guys get a quick look at Mr. Johnny Hammontree.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Hey,
Tonight.
Good.
Johnny, would you introduce yourself? Tell us how old you are, what state you're out of, and where your home pool room is.
I am 11 and I am in Kentucky, Center, Kentucky, and my home pool room is BJ's Billiards in Glasgow, Kentucky.
Awesome. Could you tell me who your favorite pool player is?
Jason Shaw, because he's the guy that my cue is named after, and the fact that he was born in Glasgow, UK, and I was born in Glasgow, Kentucky.
Well, isn't that a coincidence? I might have something there for you, son. We'll talk about this after we get off of our live stream. I have a little gift for you. So, Mom and Dad, could you introduce yourselves, please?
I'm Rick Hammontree, and this is my wife, Missy.
Hi. So, did you guys notice that you had something special in your little Johnny here?
Yeah, about a little over a year ago, we were in my body shop, which is an old country music dance hall. My parents had owned it. When they passed, I moved my body shop into it, but we kept the pool tables in here. And he and his brother Dylan got to fooling around on the pool table, and he just started making shots easier and easier. And I thought, wow, he's actually got the stuff to be a natural. So then we heard about the youth league over at Brent's. We stopped in and he wanted to become a part of it. So we got him involved with it, and he's just taken off ever since. He's loving it.
Well, congratulations there, Johnny. Mom, what do you think about Johnny putting all this energy into billiards?
You know, some kids play football, some kids play basketball. He's chosen to play pool. So, because to me, pool's a sport just like any of those others are. So, I'm happy for him. I'm proud of him and all the hard work he puts into it.
I bet. How is his grades? How is he doing with his grades since, with COVID and everything has been so crazy for the past 2 years? I know that you guys had sent me his interview questions back, and he said that he was attending school before COVID, and then you guys had decided just to keep him homeschooled. Does that seem to benefit him better, do you think?
I think it does. I don't know. Where we're at, the school is,
for lack of a better word, they're still trying to get it together.
And it hasn't affected his grades. We've actually, for part of his lessons, included pool as part of his lessons for the day.
So it's working out. He's got actually something to look forward to. That sounds like it's a good motivator. Do you seem to catch on to your schoolwork fairly easily, Johnny?
Yeah.
Okay, good. As long as you keep those grades up and you're on that pool table, I guess it works out fairly well, doesn't it? Yeah. He's like, yeah, I guess so. Dad, how many tournaments has he entered in this past year?
He's been in every youth league tournament up at Brent's at BJ's, and I put him in 2 adult tournaments so far, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Isn't it 2? Yeah, 2. Both 8-ball tournaments, and he's loving it. He's improving.
Good. And improving in a year. I heard he went from a C to a B quite quickly. So
Yeah.
that's pretty sporty there, buddy. Pretty sporty. Well, let's move on to some a little easier questions. At what age did you begin your love of pool?
I began it at 9, but I've not been playing for 2 full years yet.
Not
I
quite yet.
just turned 11.
And Dad, you mentioned you have a auto body shop that you have a pool table in. Could you give us a little background on that? You mentioned that it used to be a dance hall, but I think there's more to the story than that, isn't there?
There's a lot to that story, but what I'm going to tell is, when I was a kid, my parents bought it from a man named David Froggatt here in Center, Kentucky, and they ran it as a country music dance hall for many years. Had pool tables in the pool room. I learned when I was 19 years old. We were building an addition on the place we moved the tables in, and on my break, working for my dad, I didn't have anything else to do. And one of the guys he hired that worked for him happened to be a pool hustler, and he started teaching me the game of pool, and I fell in love with it. So that's why after all these years, to see one of my kids get into it, I just absolutely love it, and it's brought back the fire in me as well. So it's something Johnny and I can share together.
Well, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah, and when my parents passed, I just went ahead and converted the building into my body shop, the Body Works, and I always kept the pool tables in it. So
that's the story.
A real good thing.
I like it. I love that. I like, if you had watched any of the other podcasts, I grew up with a grandfather that played in. I was fascinated with the whole thing. I couldn't get enough, but it was more the stories that I liked, because all of the pool players that would come into that room would have the most insane stories to tell. And of course they were all PG, because you've got a 5-year-old sitting there taking it all in. We do have a comment. It says, from BCG, awesomeness and congrats to the youngster. Thank you so much for your comment tonight. Okay. Who has been your biggest motivator so far, Johnny?
It's been my dad.
Your
He
dad
has helped me through everything.
I bet. When you got 2 guys in the house that love to play pool, Mom, do you ever get any rest?
I let them go up to the body shop and play, and I stay at home and say, it's mom time then. So
Right. It's time for Mom to take that bath with the candles and just relax.
Yeah.
Do you, let's see, hold on. I knocked it off. What is your biggest accomplishment? What has been your biggest accomplishment to date so far, sir?
Probably moving up to a B player and doing good in all those tournaments. And it's just been wild.
It's been wild, hasn't it? My goodness. I bet Dad couldn't stop smiling when he sees you up there playing your best. There's something about our kids when they do something that we enjoy doing and they do it better than us. It just amazes us.
Oh, yeah. He's beaten me in about every game so far. So
you're going to have to take it easy on Dad there, Johnny.
Probably.
Bigger accomplishment.
What has been your biggest lesson so far?
To take my time and to slow down.
Smooth trigger.
And instead of just shooting and shooting and shooting, slowing down and aiming, and not just hitting it as hard as possible, hitting it smooth and not always easy, but not always hard. Just, yeah. Do it when you need.
Fantastic answer. Love it. Love that answer. I love doing these interviews with their kids because they're so honest about everything. They don't sugarcoat it. They tell you exactly how they feel, and I've had a blast doing this so far. Okay. What is one tournament that you would like to attend and why?
I would like to attend the Las Vegas National Pool Tournament because it's a big deal to me, and there's going to be a lot of good young players there, and it's going to make it challenging, but the more challenging something is, I think the more fun it is.
Good job. It should be fun, and there should be a challenge there. And there's a lot of angles and shots. And if you've ever seen any of Efren Reyes's videos, especially the ones from early on, the angles that he could see are just overwhelming to me, to try to think, how does his mind work that quickly to see those shots. So you're right on there. We have Learn Billiards in the house. Hello, sir. He's checking out my young guns. Keep up the good work, he says, Johnny.
I will do that.
So let's see. After high school, do you intend on furthering your education?
Yes, I do. And I want to be an automotive engineer and pay for my college by some of my winnings, maybe, from tournaments.
You know what? I think Mom and Dad love that.
I don't know.
They like that idea. I love that idea. So what you need us to do is give you more tournaments to win.
Yeah.
So that's my job. Okay. Good answer, kiddo. Good answer. Mom and Dad, how do you think so far, I mean, he's just getting started. How do you think he's handled the pressures in some of these tournaments?
I think it's absolutely phenomenal. Now, there's been a little bit of downtimes where you get a little bit upset, but Brent's been a major help to him. If he sees Johnny getting a little bit down and out because he missed a shot or he didn't like something at all, he pull him aside and he give him a pep talk. Johnny's perk right up and be ready to go again. So I think he's handling it really well.
Good. Do you notice any mental fatigue with Johnny after so many hours? Because some of these tournaments can run late.
Well, the later it gets at some of the adult tournaments, I do find that he gets a little bit more tired, and then he starts maybe shooting a little bit off. But I figure the older he gets, the more he'll kind of grow out of that and whatnot.
I'm sure a lot of the 14-year-olds that I've spoken to versus the 10 and 11-year-olds, they usually tell me I've learned to deal with the fatigue, and they've learned different ways to combat it. So as he ages, he'll learn to not fire all those cylinders in the beginning. He'll learn to what is it? It's a marathon, not a sprint, I think.
Yeah.
But they learn as they get older, for sure. Do you currently have a practice regime, Johnny?
No, but I do. Just sometimes I rack 9-ball and I break it and I just shoot from there. And I'm just now learning jump shots, so when I'm hooked, I don't just get out of it like that. I just practice while I'm doing that. And like I said earlier, I set up some balls and I shoot them to get a good shot on my next shot.
Awesome. Sounds like you know what you're doing. We're going to talk to this master coach you have here in a few minutes. Let's see. How many hours a week do you think you spend on practice, Johnny?
Well, here at the body shop, it's roughly 15 or something like that. And then on the weekends, most weekends, we go to BJ's and we shoot a lot there. So it makes it about 20 hours a week. Roughly.
Okay. Do you have an upcoming tournament that you're excited to play in?
Actually, yes. The Las Vegas Youth National. VES.
Awesome. Well, you're going to have to make sure you guys tag me in those posts when you're out there running racks on these kids, okay?
Definitely.
Let's see. Johnny, do you feel like the junior players are getting the support that they need from people like myself, the media, the tournament directors, and the venue owners? Do you think that we're giving you guys the support that you need?
At Brent's, I really think they are, because they're taking their time with us. And when they see us doing something off, they'll show us it. But at other places, I don't think they really are, because I've never heard of another pool hall that does that.
Okay. All right. So you need maybe some of the older gentlemen to be a little more patient with you guys. Some of it is that, I think us pool players, the older people, we should take more time with the kids when they're in our rooms. We have to share the space with them. We have to learn to accept the fact that they have nowhere to play and they have to play with us. So I think a lot of it starts with us adults. We have to learn to teach our kids the right fundamentals and the right attitudes, because some of us have bad attitudes, so that the kids can grow up and do those things that they enjoy doing. So I agree with you there. We're all dropping the ball here and there. I think so. If you could fast forward 10 years, where do you see yourself, Johnny?
I see myself, in college as an automotive engineer, and at Brent's helping the kids out to learn like the way I'm learning at a young age.
Okay, good deal. Hello, Heart Daily. That would be something that we would do on our main show, not on my children's show. If you catch us on Billiard Talk with Nick DeLeon and myself, we will try to get that together for you. Thank you so much for your recommendation. Okay. Johnny, what advice would you give to a newcomer that just got a brand new cue and doesn't know how to use it? Do you have any advice for them?
Slow and steady wins the race.
All right, good job. And the big one, if somebody brought me a bag full of money and said, you can do with it whatever you want to, what would be your wish for that money?
Probably opening up a pool hall just for kids to teach them how to play the actual way, so when they're older they can play professionally and be, a good player and a good sportsman.
Good job. I like it. And I believe we have a guest sitting there with you. Mr. Brent, could you come front and center, sir? I have a couple of questions for you. Thank you so much, Brent.
I don't know if I got the right answer, but I'll answer.
If Johnny will just sit right beside you. Brent, will you introduce yourself and tell us how you know this young man?
I'm Brent Jackson, Glasgow, Kentucky. BJ Billiards. I met Johnny last year when he come to the youth league. We try to do a youth league once a year at BJ's because we're just kind of like an old school pool room, and we're still family friendly and all that. No alcohol, no smoking. And Johnny come in, hung out a little bit, and we was just starting up the youth league last year. So he got in that and he played that, and he was learning his fundamentals and really picking up pool and just starting to get the bug, and he did really good with that. And then he finished the season out last year, and then he's come back this year. He started out as a C player again, which I think last year he might have started as a D, Dad.
No, I started as a C.
You started at C and stayed there. Okay.
Oh, Brent, how dare you?
What's that? Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
The audacity of you.
Anyways, it didn't take but a tournament or two this year, and I had to bump him to a B player, which it's just an in-house league at BJ's for the youth, and so I had to raise him to a B to keep it close. And as soon as I raised him to a B player, he was competing well like that too, and even won one of the youth sessions, and it was right there to the end. The last day made all the difference on, who won what.
Awesome.
But as a B player, he stepped it up this year, and he's got the bug a lot more. He's become a lot more interested, and he's playing a lot harder. You can tell when you tell these kids something and you go over there and they don't think you're paying no attention, and then they're practicing what you showed them, then it makes you want to put forth a lot more effort to help them kids that's going the extra mile and putting in the extra work, spend a little more time on.
Do you have other kids that you help as well?
Yes, Johnny? Ma'am. We wound up with like 7, but there's Johnny and 3 others. It's Braxton Westmoreland. I don't know if you've heard a lot about him.
Yes, I have.
A lot. And
I'm trying to get him on this podcast.
Yeah, Braxton, he said something about it, and he's playing pool late and sleeping late right now. He's homeschooled as well. So,
yeah. You get on Braxton for me.
I will. I see him daily. Yeah, he's a great buddy. But him
He
and
mentioned
Carson,
they all love each other, and they are plugging each other. That's
yeah,
how I'm finding these kids. The parents are coming forward, but it's the kids are going, "Hey, this lady is legit."
yeah, they're doing really good. And Maddox Griggs is a 12-year-old that's playing really good right now. And Maddox Griggs, Carson Jennings, and Braxton Westmoreland, and Johnny Hammontree. We're taking a crew to the BEF National in Vegas June the 20th, so they can
Awesome.
experience that and get what's what and see what's out there, and what they want to strive to be like.
Right.
It ain't about all going there to win first place. You got to go there and be a
It's
place
there for the
to
experience.
see where you want to step your game up and where you want to be at, and that's
Absolutely.
what we're doing. And who knows? We might surprise a couple.
You might. You never know. Didn't Sky Woodward
Young
come from
Cashton
Kentucky?
Keaton, he comes through BJ sometimes.
Yes, he did.
Everybody knows Cashton. You know Cashton, don't you?
No.
He's been in there. I got to introduce you to him. He comes to some of our big tournaments.
Well, I noticed in one of the pictures that Mr. Hammontree sent me, there was a professional player sitting, shooting at one of the tables, the infamous Louis DeMarco.
Oh, Louis D. Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. I'm good friends with a lot of pool players out there, and when they're in the area, they know to stop by BJ's for a little fun and action, right?
I knew that if Louis was there, I was like, this kid's seen some stuff, and he knows some stories.
Yeah.
Johnny, tell me one of your best stories out of BJ so far. You've seen some stuff. I know you have.
Well, it was
the best shot you've ever seen.
It was probably the tournament that I won. I was playing against some really good kids there, and the last shot was the best, the final shot, and it was just.
You felt all of it, didn't you?
Yeah.
I bet you did. How did you feel? How did you feel, Brent, when you knew it, when he made that last shot, and you saw the look on that kid's face? What went through your mind?
Just that bug increases, you know what I mean? That fire just builds. It's like, oh no, he's burnt now, you know what I mean?
Right.
When you make that good shot and you win that extra game, it gives you the extra boost,
Absolutely.
Pool's got such highs and lows when it goes bad against you, like when you miss that final shot that you make 99 out of 100 times.
Right.
That's what makes it great, is the highs and lows of it. But
my thing was
his high.
I'm going to lose more times than I'm going to win, but boy, I'm going to remember that winning for the rest of my life. So, curious minds want to know, what's in your case, Johnny?
It is a Hammontree Jason Shaw edition.
Awesome. And your break cue?
It's a BK Rush break and jump.
All right. Awesome. And let's see. Do you feel up to shooting some balls for us tonight?
Sure.
All right. Set them up there, Brent. Show me what you got, sir. Show me what you're teaching these kids.
This is nice. Yeah, just right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Johnny Hammontree. He is an 11-year-old coming out of the state of Kentucky, playing out of BJ's Billiard in Glasgow, Kentucky, I believe he said. If you guys are interested in where BJ's Billiards is, please contact me at excuse me, let me get my language right, tracylerma.insidepoolmag@gmail.com.
Gather what, Johnny? Settle out a little better for you.
Johnny, do you prefer a 9-foot table or a 7-foot table?
9 foot, because I can play on the 9 foot all day, play on the small ones, and I do great. And then I go back on it, and I'm still good.
Take ball in hand and try instead of doing that. But always start out with something easy. Don't never start out in a pickle. Come up here and put ball in hand. That's your problem. There you go. Push it up closer.
I think he may
Sometimes
be a
when you're
little
on the
nervous.
spot too. He's on camera, so that might be messing with him just a little bit.
That's smooth trigger. Square. There you go. Stay down. Keep that.
Ooh.
Well, I guess you should have just picked your pocket.
Good thing it's 9-ball, right?
Right.
Good stroke.
Very nice. Have you noticed any issues with him stroking through, Brent?
Do what? No,
Have you noticed any issues with him stroking at all? Is he
No,
keeping it
What I
straight?
try to tell them is to have like a smooth trigger. You know, your release means everything. It's like shooting a rifle is what I compare it to when they release. You know, having a smooth trigger, and they're getting that down pretty good. You know, with the release and stuff. But then that only helps so far, and then you got to change your speed up with it and have it at different speeds. You know, but they're catching on and they're doing really good, and I just like to see them get the bug and get more excited, because the happier and the harder they try doing something, the better they're going to get, you know?
Right. You're absolutely right. You seem like you enjoy coaching these kids. Thank you so much for being there.
Yes, ma'am. We have a big time with them. Sometimes we do hound dogs and fun little tricks and bets and stuff to keep it entertaining.
He looks like he has a blast when he's there.
Yeah, for sure. You make that when you get free entry in the big boy tournament. Free roll shot.
He always does this. Ooh.
Oh.
That was a long shot.
Save me $10 on that shot.
You can use that for gas.
Yes,
You might get across the street with $10. Brent, I have a question for you, sir, from Mr. Dylan Hammontree. It says, can you ask how many hound dogs Brent has lost?
Hey, you got to get on the BJ's Billiards Facebook stuff to check that out. They don't have it on there yet. They had me to do one, but they wasn't quick with their camera. You know, so they got to be quick with the camera if they beat me out of hound dog. But I do pay if I lose. That's one thing for sure. We have a good time with it out there.
So if you guys are interested on Facebook, it's under BJ's Billiards, Brent?
Yes, ma'am. BJ Billiards out of Glasgow, Kentucky, just a small town, friendly pool room. We have great tournaments. We have weekly 9-ball on Thursdays and Saturdays as well. They both start at 7 o'clock. Big breaking runs. Our last breaking run, well, right now it's floating around 240, 250 a ball. But here a while back, they might have seen some of the videos. It was up to like over 1,200 a ball. And the player auction, of course, is pretty well known around there. It gets pretty nice, too. I don't always advertise all the numbers, but the numbers are nice. People that play around there know. They can just
Could you give us an address, please?
2617 North Jackson Highway. And that's Glasgow, Kentucky.
Okay, Glasgow, Kentucky.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, got some tough guns coming around there. Many of the top players have been through there from time to time for tournaments and stuff as well. Josh O'Neill, John Hennessy, John Brumback played in our grand opening. Me and him's great friends as well, you know. But there's several players that come through there and stuff. It's
Well,
great.
apparently Dylan has a target on you. He wants to
Who?
know if you have a TikTok.
No TikTok yet, man. I've been asked. I don't do that.
I didn't know we play bullseye in Kentucky.
Bullseye.
Yeah, that's what we call it here in Alabama. It's where there's a target on one person and we harass them until they fight back.
Oh yeah, I got big shoulders. I'm all right.
Pool players and our hijinks, they'll never go away. That's just who we are.
Now we got a couple other kids around there that's playing really well. As I didn't mention a lot, but the 12-year-old Maddox Griggs, he's been playing a couple years, and like he finished out as an A player in the year, and then Carson Jennings, he finished up as a AA player. He just turned 15. Carson did, and he finished out as a AA. Braxton, the Braxton Westmoreland kid, a lot of people's hearing about. He won it last year, and I had to take him up to AAA last year because he was playing really good
well.
last year. He was 16. It was right at his birthday, the brink.
Right.
So he was playing real good. He won it last year as a AAA. So he's 17 this year, and he's geared up and ready for this Vegas thing too. I'm excited.
Tell him to call me before he
I'm
hits
excited
18. Tell him to send me a message before he turns 18 so we can get him on this podcast.
All right, I'll tell him to. Yeah, he's
well, let's get back to Johnny. We're taking over his podcast. He's over here running balls and we're over here talking. Good job, buddy.
There you go.
Ooh.
Brent, have you noticed his composure? Does he hold his composure fairly well during your tournaments?
Did what, hon? I'm sorry.
Does Johnny hold his composure fairly well during your tournaments?
Yes, ma'am. We try to teach that to a lot of the kids and stuff during the youth league is pool etiquette. You know what I mean? We don't want to go around acting like a few of these guys that give pool a bad name.
Right.
You know what I mean? Hold your head up. When you win, you got to be a good winner. You know what I mean? Don't be arrogant about it. You don't want to be a pool bully.
No.
Keep your head. And when you're losing, the same way. And pool etiquette about staying away from the table when somebody's shooting, giving them their space, not messing with them. That's a great thing.
If you don't want it done to you, don't do it to them.
Yeah. Everybody remembers how you act more than how you play a lot of times.
Unfortunately, yes, so they do.
Act like a champion no matter what level you play at.
If you want to be a champion, you have to act like a champion.
Yes,
absolutely.
Man, I think he's about got them all now.
I think he has.
Yeah, he's running out now.
Oh, I think he found his gear.
Three in the middle.
Wait for it. Is it better?
It's close. Some of that Louis D. Bank pool you was talking about.
I was about to say Louis taught him that shot.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, Louis taught him that shot. You can tell when DeMarco's been in the house.
Yeah.
All the rails are beat up because he's banked every ball in.
For sure. And doors sometime too. No. No. Don't let that sledgehammer break this time, Johnny.
I'll try.
All right. There goes a 32-mile-an-hour break. Hold on.
Keep the ball on the table.
Get in there, buddy.
Ooh.
Almost.
Hey, Johnny, Is there any pool player that you would like to meet?
I actually would like to meet Jason Shaw. I think he's a very good player.
He's a very nice man. It's hard to get. It's hard to pin that guy down. He's always on the move. But probably the best I could do would probably be Hennessy. I could probably drag Hennessy up there to see you. Maybe he'll give you a lesson or two. I'll see what I can do about getting him up that way.
Yeah.
Sounds like a deal.
Grand opening.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, John Hennessy won our grand opening tournament at BJ's.
Did he? I figured. He's heading up to New Jersey. I think it's wherever Sandcastle is. He's in 6th place right now for the Moscone.
Shoot, he's subject to beat any man at any given time,
Depends on what gear he's in that day.
Yes, ma'am. Which John comes out. You're absolutely right. He's tough as nails, though.
He is. He's a grinder.
Yeah.
He is a grinder for sure.
Yeah. We've been friends a long time, me and Hennessy.
I've known him for 15 years. He's one of my best friends.
Is he? Yeah.
Anytime I'm at a tournament, he always makes sure I'm walked to my car. I get to my hotel room. Always.
Yeah, that's
without fail. He's a very nice man. I couldn't ask for a better friend when I'm out there.
Well, that's awesome. I'm sure you just melted his little heart. Good job, Mr.
We've been friends for a long time. I'll give him crap later. Are there any shots that he's having trouble with right now, Brent, that you're having to help him with more than the others?
No, he's pretty good on his straight shots and stuff, and he's working on them. He knows what it takes to work on them. We haven't got into a lot of bank pool yet. We was talking about bank pool, but
yeah, one step at a
that
time.
comes kind of later on. You know what I
Right.
mean? After you get all your positioning, you start learning your shape, and you learn all your English real good. Then you start seeing how they bank and how your English does different off the rails.
Is he positioning fairly well?
Yeah, we're working on shape and stuff right now. That's one thing that he's starting to work on right now is his positioning and English to use and the angles the balls is coming off of the other balls and stuff. And where
Are you using the diamonds on him at all?
No, man, we've not started on no diamond system. Only if they're basic, like
Right.
distance wise or something, and splitting the difference.
Right.
You know what I mean? None of the complete diamond system. Yeah.
Right. Well, he seems like he's learning fairly quickly for only being really playing for a year and a half at his age. That's pretty good.
Oh, yes, ma'am. The main thing is, I think, is them getting the bug and liking it, and digging it. Because kids ain't like us adults. Sometimes it takes us a long time to catch on to stuff.
Mostly, but I think because we get bored and we have too much to do.
Yeah, we give up, but they get into it.
Good job.
And a few of our kids have gotten into it, and they don't even play their games no more. They're like pool geeks. You know what I mean? So all they want to do is play pool. And when they do that, like you see Johnny now, and you watch Johnny even in another year. Because since the years ago when he started playing with us, I mean, like you ain't got to tell him where to aim or nothing like that. He's got his shot making down a whole lot better. So, with due time, just as long as they have fun and they keep their head up, and they're not beating themselves up, then I think they're going in the right direction. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
If you're not having fun at it, you need to find a different hobby because
absolutely, you're right. Johnny, we're going to let you shoot this last shot, and then we're going to talk to you for just a second.
Oh.
There you go, Johnny.
He's a little bit of a ham, isn't he?
A little bit.
Almost.
Tighten him
Oh,
up.
too bad that wasn't a kiss shot.
Come on, talk to her.
Well, we appreciate you coming on our podcast tonight. Thank you so much for your time. I know you're a busy man. You've got stuff to do.
Not hardly.
Not hardly. Mom and Dad, thank you so much for allowing us to interview your young Johnny. It's been a pleasure. If you guys will hang on for just a little bit, I'm going to do my closing remarks and I'm going to come right back. I have a surprise for Johnny.
He's got some people he'd like to thank. If
you will do that for me right quick, I would appreciate it.
Okay. I would like to thank Brent at BJ's Billiards and everyone there that has helped me for the short amount of time that I've been playing there. And I'd also like to thank my sponsor, Allen 24 Masonic Lodge, and everybody there. I've heard people that couldn't donate money, but they did anyways. And somebody that was a complete stranger to me donated money. And the whole lodge just donated money for me to go to Las Vegas and get nicer clothes and shoes and all. And
all of it, huh? All of it. It's all about giving back. And I bet you they're enjoying this right now. And thank you so much for saying thank you. There's a lot of people out here that forget the word thank and you.
Yeah. I'd also like to thank my mom's boss, Patrick Gauntz, for donating, helping out with some of the funds for Vegas because, yeah.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially when Mom and Dad have a lot to do.
And his father was really big into pool.
Really? Awesome.
He used to play at BJ's.
All right. Fantastic. Is there anybody else you would like to thank? Grandmas, brothers, sisters, cousins?
I'd like to thank Mama. I know you're out there, Mama. I know you're watching this, Mama.
I bet she is. All right. I'm going to pull you out. I'm going to do my closings and run your video. So you guys don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's all about giving back, guys. And, I couldn't thank these people enough that have donated that money to get this young man to Vegas. It takes a village to raise a pool player, and it takes pool players to raise pool players. We're the only ones that know what it feels like to want it so badly. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for sponsoring. Also, remember, as long as you're giving back to the community, you're doing something good, not only for yourself, but for the entire community. Our kids are our future, and we need to make sure they get the support that they need. Thank you to PureBred Hustle. I'm sorry, I can never say that. PureBred Hustle for sponsoring our show tonight, and also Enterprise Car Rentals. If you guys need a car to get you from one place to another when you're coming off a plane, check out Enterprise and check out my page, Nick DeLeon's or Autumn Grusella's, and we can give you a discount code that you can use when you get off your plane in order to get that discount that you deserve. And that's us giving back to the community. Thank you guys so much, and you all have a great night. I'm going to run Johnny's little promo video one more time because he's such an adorable kid, and he's going places. He's a fantastic kid. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching tonight. And remember, be kind. And this is Johnny.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind,